We gather today because a 15-year-old, because a 12-year-old, because a 6-year-old whose stuffed animals were in the car with her mother found themselves in conversations about their mother's loss. And the 6-year-old will never see again those implements of care and comfort, which were the last to be with her mother, as those implements of comfort were splattered with blood. We come because this terror has reached our children. And caused for them trauma in their communities. We who care and provide all of our lives ministry to children have come to follow the scholarship that says that when you ask young people whether they are well, their first indication of whether they are well is whether they have experienced violence in their home or in their community.
That's right.
So we know that the children of Minneapolis and St. Paul and broader in Minnesota are not well.
They're not well.
We know that the children in Portland, Oregon are not well. We know that the children in Chicago are not well. And so we come because someone must give account for the trauma to our children.
Yes, sir.
When armed agents are sent into communities to make sense of the political divisiveness that is sought to divide neighbor from neighbor, then someone loses life. Some people end up with loss, and our children end up traumatized. We have spoken last night and today to our state director in Minnesota. We asked what is happening with our advocates and with our communities, and we bring this report in their words. Our communities are feeling a variety of things from anger to hope. Depending on who you're talking to, parents, caregivers continue to feel the burden of safety for themselves, their children, and their neighbors. Advocates understand the impact and are swirling to organize quickly. Faith communities are calling for us to rise to our best self and remember the power of love when hate shows up. Ultimately, when we think of this past year in Minneapolis, we feel like it's an attack on childhood, unsafe communities, threats to out-of-school time funding, parents being detained while dropping children off to school, and most recently, attacks on fraud in a community that has expanded supports to its children. We think it's not a coincidence that a state that expanded the child tax credit. We think it's not a coincidence that a state that has universal free school meals. We think it's not a coincidence that this state that has protected and provided care for immigrant neighbors became a site of attack for this administration, and then they send agents in order to enforce the political attack that starts to separate Somali neighbors from American-born neighbors, and the expense and the price is paid by our children.
That's right.
And so we come asking for accountability because we know. Those of us in the Christian community know that we are just one part of a big children's movement.
That's right. Come on.
Jesus who hung out with teenagers. Jesus who called adults who wanted to get their little children closer to him. Jesus who told those who had a position and authority to suffer the little children to come unto me and forbid them not, for of such is the kingdom of heaven. He said, I know you've got position and you've got privilege, but please get out of the way. So that those children can be in a place of safety, of care, of justice. We believe our communities ought to be just. Our communities ought to be caring. And when they are just, And when they are caring, our children sing and dance like nobody's watching. And so we come today asking for the enforcement of justice and care in our communities. We come so that our children can sing and dance. We come as people of faith, believing that that day will break in and come forth. And we call upon all of those in government to follow the one who has the government on his shoulders. And listen and provide care for our children. So we come with these, our partners, calling for accountability for ICE,
Yes, sir.
calling for accountability for this administration, calling for rollback of this militarized presence in our communities so that our children will have room to play, sing, and dance. We are grateful to stand together with our friends in faith, and we are grateful for the leadership from the United Church of Christ, from Reverend Holly Jackson, whom you will hear from now.